The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more, reach do we go, dear friends. And as always, we're kind of these kind of people who like to come to you at the same time every day, so you know what to expect.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
We're off about 7 points on the S&P cash. Volume is up about 200 million shares above yesterday at this time for the New York Stock Exchange consolidated tape. So up 10%. We ended up with about 3.5 billion shares yesterday. So it'll be very interesting to see if we can see a lot more on the downside today. 2363 flat on the S&P cash as we start the day. Market just seems very tired, and you know what? Maybe this is a sell the news rally. That was, of course, all this stuff's going to happen in the government. And guess what? Maybe it gets announced tonight, and everybody just decides there's no more people to suck in, and we go ahead and sell. That's kind of probably the higher probability. And I think we're already starting to see a little of that exit stage left. Murgatroyd, yes. I'm going to say I have to work on my cartoon voices. But not much else happening other than that. A lot of earnings news. We'll go through those. And why don't we just take care of our history for today?
That it's all just a little history repeating.
On this day in 1953, a young scientist named Francis Harry Compton Crick walks into the Eagle Pub in Cambridge, England, announces that he and his research partner, James Dewey Watson, have found the secret of life. Unlike most people who say that those kind of things in bars, Crick's right. He and Watson have discovered the double helix molecular structure in DNA, and at least they got the attribute for it. There was a gal kind of in the ether back that said that she photographed it, and there's sufficient evidence to show that. A lot of people say that she really figured it out. These guys were still trying to figure a way to show what they'd already learned. They just didn't visualize it. She visualized it. But I think they were probably, the Nobel Prize Committee was probably right in finally cutting it down to these two folks. She may have gotten on, but I think she died because she was basically running around working with radiation and X-rays to photograph all this stuff. I think she croaked before she actually could have won this thing anyway. But they got the Nobel Prize, got a lot of cash, ran around. And, of course, today DNA is everywhere. I hate to even say that. Ugh. Anyway, we're off 7.5 points on the S&P cash. We'll see how today comes out. But I'm not going to be surprised if we don't get a long and protracted return out here. Is one of these, you always got to have somebody on the other side. We've talked about this many times before, especially the last earnings cycle in the FANG stocks, where we just saw so many people that were all so bullish on the stock. It just didn't seem like there was anybody that hadn't bought it that had bought it already. And we saw some fairly decent retracements in the likes of Amazon. Others, I think we're just to that point where the market is so tired that nobody's willing to go out there and hang out on a limb right now and push this market up a little higher. It's going to take, and of course, earnings pretty poor anyway, and we'll talk about that more today. What else do we have? What? Oh, after the bell tonight, we've got Air Methods. Not so much a trading stock as one that gives us a little idea on how manufacturing's going. These guys sell a lot of compressed air, like nitrogen and helium and hydrogen and that kind of stuff. And it's used in a lot of manufacturing. Ambarella, the chip company for GoPro, we'll find if they're still in business. Chicago Bridge and Iron, just how bullish is everybody about the Trump spending binge coming out. Chewy's Holdings, the kind of failed IPO. Another kind of moderately filed IPO is Etsy, ETSY. La Quinta Holdings, another IPO over the last year, maybe got pushed out a little bit too soon. We'll see. Palo Alto Networks, the computer security company that the street was just so in love with, even 6 months or 9 months ago. Puma Biotechnology, PBYI. Ross Stores, another little read on retail, which has been a disaster today. Salesforce.com. A lot of discussions that triple. Apple, Google, and others, including Microsoft, have been very good, and Amazon have been very good at stealing lots of business from Salesforce. If there's going to be a surprise tonight, a monster surprise, I think it's going to come in Salesforce. They have a absolute sky-high PE. They can't afford to even miss by a penny. A penny could cost $10 on that stock. I'm not going to be surprised that if they do whiff, and whiff big, that is going to be the big mover out there, although I can't forecast it. A lot of these companies have gotten very good at managing their earnings, so can you see a company like that actually having declining earnings and be able to hide it for 3 months or 6 months, a couple of quarters? They certainly can, so don't get too excited about it. I'm just suspecting, after all the earnings calls I've listened to, that it's not going to be that long before we hear something in the Salesforce camp that maybe the earnings have far outstretched the stock price. Taser International, TASR, give them the taser. I can't ever find that. It must be another one of those videos that Beavis and Butthead were taking off. But it was always, I remember there was the fire one that got everybody in trouble. And then there was the give them the taser one. I got to find that, so we'll have something to play when I talk about taser. Weight Watchers International already having a nice little pop today. They're after the bell also. Tomorrow morning, another read on retail, especially mall retailers with American Eagle Outfitters. Best Buy, of course, tomorrow. Crocs, Dollar Tree, Mylan Pharmaceuticals, and Trina Solar. Anyway, give me a call, 877-927-6648. Got some requests to look at the stocks. We'll look at that when we come back, get into some of these stocks that did have earnings over last night, this morning, and look at some more. Give me a ring.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
If you were listening to Larry Pesavento's show earlier this morning, you would have found out that he was having some connection problems. And if you ever have connection problems on the internet, you can always just Google internet weather. And actually, they have weather reports to tell what's going on. And there was a couple of them that were pretty noticeable. But a lot of problems with anything coming out of Dallas or across Dallas. And it kind of spread throughout the morning. But Amazon web servers are down, and it's causing troubles across the internet because, of course, when you go to the cloud, suddenly now the whole idea of the internet was supposed to be all these different computers all over the place. Now suddenly we took the best part of the internet and shoved them all in one spot, i.e. the cloud. They're not in all one spot, but they are concentrated enough to kind of diffuse all the great parts of the internet, i.e. somebody else out there may have the same thing mirrored on their site. But Trello, Quoria, Splitwise, all kinds of other stuff. Many websites. This isn't in this one article, but it's in, I think, about 100 of the best-known websites, including some of the other things like Google services are actually run on Amazon servers. And a lot of people wailing and gnashing of teeth out here today because, of course, suddenly everything is down when you get so much concentration in the hands of one or two or three companies like Amazon or Google or Microsoft or any of the other big cloud providers out there. But if you're trying to get to a website, don't get it, point your finger in Amazon's direction. I had some questions about whether or not it's time to pull the trigger on the stocks. I think you're kind of close here. I don't know if there's a lot of downside. I don't see a signal that says pull the trigger short, just because there isn't a really good, clean one. Right now, if it were me, I'd still want to find a test of the $8.06 low on the SOX S, which is the bear ETF. If you want to look at the SMHs out here, kind of the same thing. I was hoping to find a nice double repo pattern from Joe DiNapoli's pattern out here. It's not bad. And if you were looking on being short these, as long as it could stay under the 3x3 displaced moving average, I got to sneeze here. Now that the air conditioning is running full time again, I get a lot of chills. What we were saying about SMHs. So, you'd want that one. Oh, we were going to look at the traditional moving average on the 9-day. Yeah, I mean, you're under that today. So whichever one you're going to use, I don't know if there's going to be that big a difference. You got a significant close below 9-day. I think you could probably just be short here and know you're going to have a very tight stop on this one. You want it to stay under this from now on. Let's take a look at SOX itself. This one's closing under 2. So again, you don't have a lot of room out here, a lot of risk actually, as long as this thing just stays under. Now, one of the things that a lot of people haven't thought about is where all this money is going to come from to fund the Snap IPO next week. This is about the time we're getting into where they're going to start selling a lot of stocks to go out and try to get in to the Snap IPO and hope that it does a Facebook. Well, not the first day. Kind of if you would have bought it at $20. So a lot of these stocks are for sale. They're going to need to raise a lot of cash. There's some other IPOs out there in the wind too. A lot of people thinking maybe these, a lot of the semis and the tech stocks itself. But my guess is that they'll do enough to make sure that these hold up at least somewhat through next week, which is Thursday for the Snap IPO, if I'm not mistaken, last I've heard anyway. Unless something blows up in their face, they can't find enough people to get that $11 to $13 range that Snap is looking for. But this is a good time where you can see the first leg down, although maybe being a little smaller than you think it might be. Maybe a little bit of pullback and a little ABC back up into next week. And then, with fund buying over and everything happening, Snap could easily suck all the extra oxygen out of the room. I'm fairly bearish for the entire market, but we just still see so many people piling into the top 4 or 5 stocks in the NASDAQ, which is more than 50% of the actual index itself. And that just disguises a lot of it. I would probably much rather be short an individual stock than this right now. But just my thought. Percentage decliners out here, we'll run through them real quick. Anglo Eagle Mine, nice big pop down. Don't think it surprises anybody after the way these things were working. This is February 28th. Nice clip down. Volume is expanded as you think it would be. AGI, which is Alamos Gold, another one popped down. Volume is picked up over the previous day. Ameritrade, huge gap down. And this one, not telling you that the retail trader is back. A lot of volume in this one, too. $37 is probably going to be the support level on Ameritrade. CPE, Callan Petroleum Company, CPE, back to its, the November 2nd low at $12.45. Pierced it today. I don't know if it's going to hold back above that. You want to watch the close on this one as a signal. You've already got plenty of volume, actually too much volume, which would suggest this is going to move back down to the low $10 lows of August 2nd and June 27th of last year. DDD had earnings out this morning. Read the transcript of the earnings call. I can pretty much say that that's exactly what the stock probably should have done from the tone of the earnings call. But again, at some point, you're going to find these things are a good buy. But again, I think that is when there are some new technologies, not in how they print, but the materials they print in, i.e., when they can really make one that will print things in metal instead of plastic for sub $1,000. I think that's kind of sweet point. Perrigo company, the biopharma stock whiffed and down on some fairly huge volume back into its January 24th low of 71.84. Peak volume. This thing could blow out the bottom fairly easily. So keep an eye on this one. We'll be back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we come back, Sibian Gold, another one that's kind of ticking down. Not as bad as the other. Was a lot of energy on the sideways move out here. And, of course, a lot of volume coming in today on that one. SLV, which is Silver Wheaton, big gap down on this. But, man, these things really had a turn yesterday, the gold stocks. And, wow, just very interesting. Down, not so much volume in this one, though. Looks to me like the first level of support is going to be the low of the day of December 29th, which came in at $18.70. So you get a little bit more room down in here, but there's a kind of a nice gap around that area that looks like that's going to be the first support level. Ideally, you get a test of $16.94, which is the December 15th low. THC, which is Tenet Healthcare, dropped the chalupa. Did so monster volume down to the previous gap of the 21st of February. This got enough energy and everything else that I'm thinking that you get a routine trip down to the basement, which is $14.30, the December 14th low. Before you get to that, you need to get through the 15.5 level, which is this nice gap up on 4.7 million shares back on the 4th of January. Vertex Pharmaceuticals, another one out here that is not feeling the love out here, back to its low of $13.16, which is the January 30th low on this one. Let's take a look. Those were the decliners. What do we have out here? Advancers. Take a quick look at these. ADM, supermarket to the world, up on some decent volume. You're really looking for about 9 million shares. You got about you got 5 million shares now. So, yeah, right now we got about half the volume with an hour and a half left to go in ADM. It hadn't quite hit the November 2nd high. Maybe it gets that tomorrow, but decent volume, decent candle, and you're looking for 10 million shares by the end of the day or in the next couple of days as it breaks that high. Ray Pharmaceuticals up fairly nicely, no volume in that one. AWI, which is the second day of this move higher from the flooring companies. A lot of people still buying houses, trying to get in while the rates are low. It looks like a lot of people stampeding to buy houses in the last couple of months. This may be a great pop and drop over the next couple of months as they start selling this stock, as probably a lot of houses. I just don't think they can hold up the run rate in houses probably into the spring. Maybe we got another month or two for these things to hold up. BWX Technology, nice spike, huge volume, everything you want to see in a sign of strength. I'll be keeping an eye on this one on the pullback, see if there's anything. Cara Pharmaceuticals up a little, but nothing to write home about. Celgene, nice pop out here, volume, not all that exciting. Yesterday's volume was just flat, but very interesting movement out here. But looks like this thing wants to go to 127, which is the November 9th high. CY, which is Cypress Semiconductor, a nice little gap up here today. Couldn't hold the highs, actually kind of lower than it's open today. This thing could come back and fill it fairly good. If you're looking for that semi-short, keep an eye on the way that the rest of these are moving today. Let's see if they got anything else out here. Just some of these stocks that have been hammered kind of bouncing, but not that much today. These things don't look like much is happening. TXMD, nice pop in this one at just under $6 yesterday, up to $6.40 today. I don't see anything in a bigger pattern other than that one. Maybe an asymmetrical triangle to breakout. Western Digital up a little higher. Some phony baloney, good time rock and roll upgrades by the shysters of Wall Street. Weight Watchers. Now, this one's got a decent sign of strength. A lot of people talking about the Oprah factor and some very good numbers for people getting way too fat into Christmas and looking for a lot of these services to lose weight after Christmas. WTW has earnings after the bell tonight. And, of course, Artie's had a big day and big move already. I'm not sure if it came out. I looked through the news. I can't really figure it out. I still see articles saying that they're coming out after the bell. Maybe the numbers leaked early. I didn't have enough time to dig through it. Let's go to most of the other bigger movers. in the market today. Again, you can call me at 877-927-6648, or you can post a message in the Dell. Okay, everybody's got a pronunciation of Albemarle. I've found 20 of them on the web, and everybody says that they're right and everybody else is wrong. So, lesson learned here: if you're a company, name your company something everybody knows the pronunciation, or put it on the front page of your website how you'd want it. But it's not on their website. Everybody else has another idea how this thing is pronounced. What are we looking at out here? Oh, my scans, movers. Get to that. 877-927-6648. Okay. Okay, still off 7.5 points, 2.4 billion shares on the New York Stock Exchange. Amarin, a little pop up here. Of course, anytime anybody gets a little nervous, they go for the safety stocks, as this one is another. Amarin is a electrical generation and distribution company, the electric company, not the television show on PBS, though. Nice little pop from AutoZone on earnings this morning, but man, they gave almost all of it back so far. This just got back up to the gap, and everybody's kind of sold it. Not a lot of juice off the bottom. This thing's just playing around in this area, but it's still in the trading range, and you don't have any big long-term signals on that yet. Domino's Pizza out with the earnings. Nice pop, new high, significant volume. Probably would like to see a little bit more, but still doing well. Schneider Energy down just a tad on earnings, nothing big deal. The SeaWorld doing a little better. People forgetting about the blackfish, but not totally yet. And this got to $20.13, gave half of it back, but a fairly decent pop. This could have been a lot worse. What else do we have out here? SHO, which is Steve Madden's shoe company. Nothing on that one after its earnings. The big loser of the day with wimpy earnings is Target. And this is so well covered, I guess I'm not going to add a lot other than the look at this thing long term. This thing's blown through all the lows. The next big low is $51.14 back to the May 28, 2014 low.
TFNN has just launched a special event in Tampa with Tom O'Brien taking place March 18th, sponsored by Nadex. Tom O'Brien will be presenting 2 workshops for a combined 2.5 hours of education, bisecting and dissecting his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. March 18th kicks off with a continental breakfast as we get everyone checked in, and that is followed by 2 75-minute workshops with Tom O'Brien. The first workshop from 8:45 until 10 a.m. will cover quality volume, cause and effect, and ABC structures, and the second workshop from 10:15 until 11:30 a.m. will cover swing points, testing, and the Tiger Gartley. Tom will then wrap things up with a question and answer session, which will be followed by a Tiger Luncheon Social on the rooftop of the Westin Hotel. The best part is that it's all free, but you must register to attend. Visit the front page of TFNN.com for all the details and to sign up today, and we hope to see you in Tampa on March 18th.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And 58.com, the Chinese internet company, nice little pop back into this gap down from the 10th of November. That had about 8.7 million shares. You got about 3.55 million shares into it today. Gave back a little bit of it. Earnings weren't all that bad, but that $38 range would have been, if you wanted to be short this thing, would probably have been where to pull the trigger. We got some other stocks. Abbott Labs has been banking around this $45 level. Tested it with half the volume of the August 2nd high that had 18 million shares at 45.50, went to 18 cents above it with the February 24th push, but only a little less than 10 million shares, 45.68, and has pulled back into this trading range. The energy off the low was not all that bad. Why I wouldn't pull the trigger short on it. It does look like the best you can see out here is probably a trading range. ACI worldwide come back into this gap that started, what is this? The 24th of June in 2016. This thing gapped down with 650,000 shares. Volume wasn't all that bad, but again, just a lot of these stocks getting up to these gaps, filling them, and not a lot of love or sign of strength in a great deal of these. Eastman Chemical Company, we've been bouncing off this gap that's been just above the $80 level. It's pulled back in a little bit. Washington Expeditors International, EXPD, this thing's been making 52-week highs over and over again. Just not a lot of juice. In the second day out here with no volume. Watch this one very closely. I think that one might have a big mover based on what earnings are like. Not earnings, what the speech is like tonight. Frontline, I'm pretty sure this is an oil services company. Back below yesterday, its previous low, did so on 1/4 of volume. And today, a nice pop back into the trading range. This is exactly what you're looking for in these. I was kind of watching this one and hoping for 650. Probably just got a little greedy on this one. But very light volume back into the lows. GBT, which is Global Blood Therapeutics. I don't see a lot in that one. GPL, Great Panther Silver. This one had a very interesting test of the top. I was talking to one of my subscribers yesterday about it. You had $2.25 on the May second high with 8 million shares. You got into it with just a little over 2 million shares yesterday. The thing reversed. I think that had to be one of the best sell signals I've seen in a long time. The only thing I hated was it wasn't big enough to short. What do we have? Kilroy. I guess Kilroy was here. Nice double top on this one on the KRC is the symbol. December 9th, $77.54, 850,000 shares compared to 400,000 shares yesterday as it spiked above that. Almost held the low, the high yesterday and now kind of back into the trading range. Not horrible energy on the way up, but the last 7-10 days have been kind of a big nothing burger out here. Monsanto still shaking the leaves of getting bought out one day, is at its high on almost no volume. That's the June 10th high at 113.04, 10.8 million shares. Yeah, 4 million shares so far. This one looks like it's certainly going to test that high with light volume. I do not know the status of that buyout, but it always seemed flaky to me. Owens Corning Fiberglass, July 27th, $58.49, 5.5 million shares. Got into it yesterday with 1 million shares. So a lot of these stocks out here giving me some signals that there just isn't a lot of juice. Declining volume really in most of these going back a week or even longer as these things kind of move back up into these highs. PNW, what's this one? Pinnacle West Capital, another stock out here in the financial sector. Now, this one's trying to break up, but just 500,000 shares so far compared to the 1.2 million shares on July 6th of last year as this thing breaks through new highs. RPAI, Retail Property of America. Many people talking about the malls going belly up. This one's getting a little bit of confirmation. No volume yesterday as this thing pushed higher, and a nice reversal on that one. SAIC, which is Science Applications International. Looks like this one has got a little bit of a reversal pattern set up, especially since this thing tested the previous high on no volume yesterday, basically half the volume of the December 9th high. SDLP, had tested its previous high on no volume yesterday. December 12th, you had 2.2 million shares at $5.07. Got through it yesterday with 368,000 shares. Again, a lot of these smaller dollar-denominated stocks, just very, very light volume into highs yesterday, making me think that they are kind of leading the charge down. We're off 7 points in the S&P cash volume, 2.5 billion shares. So what else do we have going on out here? South Jersey Industries. The Sopranos? I'm trying to figure out what would be South Jersey Industries. Anyway, December 20th, $34.85. 750,000 shares. Got into it, pierced it today, did not hold it, just 180,000 shares today. Again, just a market that looks very tired. Spirit Aerosystems Holding, SPR. This one broke out and through the previous high with 332,000 shares yesterday, and it's got 841,000 shares. But you were looking for this December 8th high that had 1.6 million shares. I don't know if you're going to get that or even close to that today. If this thing gives a reversal signal, maybe gold, maybe the gold miners are just getting a little ahead of the general market. Tidewater, this one, very interesting pattern out here in that this one is certainly going sideways without much going on. I don't know if there's anything going on. People may be thinking about buying this, but there may be a bid under this one. If everybody runs to crude for a penny stock, this one, the last 4, 5, 6 days out here, maybe even 8 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I kind of like this little setup here. If everybody runs for the hills, they may go and start running for oil as the last bastion for safety if this market does roll. So just keep an eye on it. This may be a few days to keep on, but for a penny stock, pretty decent risk reward. WTI, which is W&T Offshore, is back into its previous low with a whole lot less volume. You had 7 million shares on December 21st at $2.58. got down to 250 today, just a million shares so far. So some of these don't look that bad. I do like the kind of light energy off this January 9th high too. Unfortunately, I want this thing at about $2.05 back at that double gap. I may not get that. Look back.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And we're back. Salesforce, of course, after the bell tonight, pretty much priced for perfection. This thing has been way ahead of its skis the last several earnings cycles. Sometimes the holders have decided to stick with it. Sometimes they have not. It did have a nice test of the October 5th low that had 48 million shares with 16 million shares. So you probably had a pretty decent ability to buy it back on December 2nd. But that didn't last all that long. This thing has been going back up. Again, just a very tough stock to price because one even small hiccup with a valuation this thing has, and you can see it down $15 after the bell if you take a look. Other stocks of interest, as we said, was the Ross stores after the bell. Let's take a quick look at this one. Another one up here at the highs. Pulling back with a little bit of volume out here today. Now, this one tested its previous high of November 22nd that had 7.7 million shares with this 4 million shares a few days ago. So you got a light volume top. You've got not a lot of energy from the January 31st low up to the high of February 21st. So not a lot in that one that would make people think it's doing well. Probably a lot of shorts in it, but I have not checked. PANW, the network security company. This one has pretty much filled the really horrible gap down it had on the 22nd of November with 11.8 million shares. This thing has done so with 1.7 million shares not that many days ago. Its brethren have not been doing well either. It's got a gap down to about 147. I think you could easily see that one. At the high end, you may be $160. I don't see a lot of people going wacky on this one. It is starting to gather a fairly decent short holding on it, though. AMBA, Umbrella, of course, the supplier to video compression chips for GoPro. This one has come up, filled its gap, done so with no volume. Gap down on earnings on the 2nd of December. Did so with 6.4 million shares. Got into it in the last few days with 1.5 million shares, 300,000 shares yesterday, 1 million shares today. Just very tough to see how GoPro really gets back in it. That market seems to be rather satiated with cheap knockoffs. And I think just as many people jumping out of a plane as you can find, that kind of trend is over for a little while. What else did we have? Chicago Bridge and Iron. Kind of a bigger deal on this one is going to be what President Trump says today. Down, volume picking up just a little out here. This thing's just in a bigger trading range. Energy off this high of February 15th has already been rather strong. Volume's just kind of gone sideways here the last few days. So not a lot to say. See if there's anything. Let's take a look at Etsy. ETSY, another one of these rather failed-looking IPOs, just in the fact that, how can I say it? Executive branch of this company seems to be a bunch of hippies. So they're not quite focused on making a ton of cash, and that's bugged some of the big holders of Etsy, ETSY. These guys, you make a lot of little custom doodads for people like crafts. Not a good signal. This thing's just been going sideways for a while, but would not be surprised to see a big move in this one if all the work they've done to actually start making products pans out. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bad channel, same bad time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.